I was really pleased that my video on foul language in the Bible got such an active response and a lot of views. That was a lot of fun, so thank you for that. I also saw that a lot of the comments were asking, so what? What do we do with this information? And does this justify cussing or swearing if one is a Christian or someone of faith who is seeking to take the Bible seriously? My thoughts on this, I just have a few reflections. This is my opinion, this is my take it or leave it. I think that anybody can use the Bible to justify or condemn just about anything, depending on what verses you want to prioritize. A lot of people look at verses like Ephesians 4:29 or Ephesians 5:4, which say something to the effect of, let no unwholesome talk or obscenity or foolish talk come out of your mouths, but only what's useful for building others up. But as I sought to show in my last video, there are plenty of instances of crude and obscene language and even vulgar behavior that are depicted in the Bible that some translations try to gloss over, but in their context, they are definitely considered obscenities. And so what do we do with that? If you're someone who's trying to basically derive an idea of speech ethics from the Bible, I would say that you need to keep those two ideas in tension. You also need to factor in the fact that Jesus at one point instructs his disciples to perform an obscene gesture. He says that if the towns to which you are going refuse to accept the gospel, then shake the dust off your feet as you leave that place. Now, in Middle Eastern culture, if you're shaking the dust off of your feet at someone, you are essentially saying, you're dirt, you're as good as dead. It is a curse. It is an enacted curse. It is vulgar. And so, it's worse than somebody flipping off the bird at someone else. So what do you do with that? How do you reconcile that with Paul? Can you reconcile that with Ephesians? That's something to parse through. And my own personal opinion is that speech ethics really should come down to what are you doing with your words rather than what words are you using. I don't think that people need a hard and fast rule around not using cuss words because language changes all the time. You might be in a context where using a foul word or a word that someone might consider foul is not at all offensive to people in other parts of the world or in other times and places. Language is constantly in flux. But also there is a difference between how you are talking in a church gathering or in any sort of formal setting that calls for more dignified behavior, which I think is what Paul is addressing. He's talking about church gatherings and saying, don't use obscene or shameful speech that's going to make people uncomfortable or tear them down. But that's different than if you're out having a beer with your buddies and you happen to call each other silly names just as a joke, and they understand it's a joke and they're okay with it. That's very different. And so, again, my 2 cents when it comes to speech ethics is consider the impact of the words on the other person. Be respectful rather than trying to make a hard and fast rule such as do not use cuss words. I think that that's nitpicky, but that's my take. Take it or leave it. Have a great day.